John Weston swept West Vancouver, reaching out to diverse cultural communities. And by reaching out, I mean by speaking Mandarin, by learning Farsi, and even by earning his black belt in Taekwondo. Pretty good, John. I haven't done that yet. On the other side of the country, Parm Gill came within 400 votes of winning Brampton Springdale, a riding with one of the largest South Asian populations in Canada. Bob Deckert broke through in Mississauga-Arundel thanks to huge support from the Polish, Croatian, Coptic, Filipino communities and many others. And our candidates, Joe Oliver and Rochelle Wilner, came within an inch of winning against former Liberal ministers right in the heart of Toronto. Thanks to this, no Liberal seat in Metro Toronto is a safe seat anymore. In the next election, the Liberals are going to have to defend every last one of them. Et à Montréal,
in Montreal, we have seen a lot of support in the cultural communities, like Avlakirin, with an increase with a very great increase.
Listen, folks, we are doing more than just winning votes in these constituencies and in these communities. Nous bâtissons une solide organisation.
We are building a strong party organization, a big blue machine of volunteers, activists, supporters, and donors that will keep the Conservative Party visible in cultural communities until the next election.
Now, some of you may have heard the joke of my dear friend Raheem Jaffer, and by the way, Raheem, we're going to get you back to Parliament where you should be, representing Edmonton Strathcona. But Raheem joked that one of the ways we did this was to send me out on the so-called rubber curry circuit, and in fact, his nickname for me became the Minister for Curry in a Hurry. Well, let me tell you folks, it wasn't just by going to hundreds of events, which all of our ministers, MPs, and candidates did, that we broke through. We didn't just succeed because we attended more community events. We did it because we actually probably did attend more than the Liberals, come to think of it. But we did it through far more important ways. Just between us, please don't let anyone else in on this. I'll let you in on our confidential strategy to appeal to new Canadians. It's top secret. Here it is. Our strategy is simple. It's to take millions of small C conservatives and turn them into big C conservatives. That's what this is all about. It's to get people to align their votes with their values. And it's to listen to people, to respect them, to take them seriously, and actually defend their values and interests. In other words, it's the opposite of the Liberal approach, which is to take for granted the support of new Canadians because, after all, the Liberals are entitled to it. And we all know the Liberals are entitled to their entitlements. The Liberal approach has been to belittle and disregard the values of new Canadians, their belief in family, in enterprise, and in law and order. But we made important inroads with different communities because we did something the Liberals would never dream of. We listened actively to their concerns, and then we acted on them.
We made inroads with different communities because we did something the Liberals never did. We listened to their concerns and then we acted on them.
The government, for instance, imposed a deeply unpopular $1,000 tax on every permanent resident to Canada. Stephen Harper's government cut that in half. In the 1990s, the Liberals closed the door on hundreds of Vietnamese who had fled to the Philippines to escape communist persecution. Our Conservative government, upon coming to office, thanks to the leadership of Dianne Finlay, allowed these victims of communism to come to Canada, and we are working with the 200,000 strong person Vietnamese Canadian community to give those folks a better life here in Canada. And by the way, let's not forget it was a Conservative government that brought the original boat people from Vietnam to Canada. And we lifted travel visa requirements for several Eastern European countries that are supporting the NATO mission in Afghanistan. In doing so, we made it easier for grandparents, aunts and uncles from democratic allies like Poland to attend family weddings and graduation ceremonies with their relatives here in Canada. This is more than just good policies, it's also good politics. It is good for Canada, ladies and gentlemen, what we've been doing. We came to office determined to offer cultural communities a better deal, and unlike the Liberals, we delivered. We succeeded in translating the goodwill that we earned into electoral support across the country. In the last election, we ran a more diverse slate of candidates than any other party. And you know what? We did it without quotas and set-asides. In a country as great as Canada, and in a party as open as the Conservative Party, hard work and individual merit are all that is needed in order to succeed. Let the Liberals keep their outdated quotas, their discriminatory set-asides, their patronizing tokenism. That's not the Conservative way, and that's not the Canadian way. Now, I believe that the growing support in diverse communities won't just benefit the Conservative Party, it will also strengthen the Conservative movement in Canada. Je crois que le soutien croissant au Parti conservateur dans les communautés culturelles.
And I believe that growing support in diverse communities won't just benefit the Conservative Party, it will also strengthen the Conservative movement in Canada.
Its geographic and demographic base, it has to compromise some of its core values. But that need not be the case when we reach out to new Canadians. Quite to the contrary. I believe that in attracting the support of new Canadians, we're actually strengthening support for ideas like lower taxes, limited government, respect for family within this party and within this country. This is because new Canadians are drawn to our party not in spite of, but because of our conservative values. Family, hard work and personal responsibility, respect for tradition, legitimate authority and an ordered society, opportunity, equality of opportunity and the rule of law. And of course, lower taxes.